Then relax, raise the other ear. Relax. A few more U shapes. Nice and gentle. Relax. Both feet, feet about hip width apart, both feet facing directly forward if you can. Take a step forward, shift your weight into the front leg so you get a nice gentle stretch in the rear leg, and just hold it with that nice gentle stretch. And then switch legs, keeping both feet facing forwards. Nice gentle stretch in the rear leg, mainly the calf muscle. Legs, same thing, stretching the calf muscle. And change legs one more time. And relax. Take the feet comfortably wide apart, and then a little bit more, just so it's a gentle stretch. Not too much, but you should just feel a gentle stretch coming on. And if you can, take the feet out a little bit more, but don't overdo it, nice and gentle. Gentle progressive stretching is much better than, I don't know, trying to go at it like a, what's the word? Not a bull in the china shop, bull at a gate, something like that, can't remember. If you can, one more gentle widening of the legs. If you can't, stay where you are. Gentle stretch. And then bring the feet in, just give them a little shake off. Feet together, circle the hips, nice and gently. Change direction. And relax. But we're now going to do the slow power form. And we relax and we step the left foot out. And the opening move. Up to shoulder height. Down. Hold the ball on the right. Step the left foot forward. Part wild horse's mouth. Draw back. Hold the ball on the left. Step the right foot forward, part wild horse's mouth. A full step back with the right foot as your hands cross in front, draw the left foot in, white crane that spreads wings. Circling the right hand, a sort of an oval with the left, so you can step to the left front corner, fair lady work shuffles. Your left foot wants to be more to the corner. You don't want to keep the left foot facing forwards. You want the left foot facing the corner. Step the right foot in, Step the right foot to the right corner, and again, the right foot wants to be not facing forwards, it wants to be facing a bit towards the corner. But as you step, you adjust your left foot, so your left foot is facing pretty much forwards. You don't want to leave the left foot behind, otherwise you'll twist your knee. Bring the right foot back, cloud hands. 1, 2, I'm just going to move to the side. I think I've gone off my mark slightly. I think that's 3. Wind blows clouds left. I couldn't think what it was. Step to the right, draw in a bit. Hands towards hips, right foot goes forwards, push. Right foot comes back, tuck the pelvis under, bend the spine, push. Relax the fingers down, the wrists go up a tiny bit, down. As the hands come up, the spine can straighten, and you can straighten your legs a little bit if you want, that's optional. But then you bend the legs again as the hands go down, step in, and that's when you straighten. Let us go again. Stepping out with the left foot, opening move. Up to shoulder height, down. Hold the ball, step the left foot forward, part 1 horse's mane. Draw back, hold ball, step the right foot forward, part 1 horse's mane. Big step back with the right foot, draw in, white crane spreads wings. Circling the hands, stepping to the left front corner, fair lady work shuttles. Step in with the right foot, then step out with the right foot, fair lady work shuttles. Draw the right foot parallel with the left, cloud hands. 1, 2, 3, wind blows clouds left, wind blows clouds right. Hands towards hips, step the right foot forward, push. Both hands, hands horizontal, fingers pointing out. Sorry, I couldn't think what to say. Bring the foot back. Hands just below shoulder level, fingers pointing up. Tilt the fingers down, raise the wrists a little bit. Down, up, down, feet together. So, following on from the recent course on the 24th, I thought it was a good idea to make a video looking at that little routine we created where we used the first 5 moves going one way and then the other and then the other and then the other. I'll do it without any narration and then I'll talk you through the moves so you can follow along. To begin with, just checking that I'm somewhere in picture. Okay, probably want to be there. Okay. So without narration. just did that to close off. That's not part of the form, that's just me closing it off neatly. Not necessary, but you can always do that. Right, I want to show the opening move a little bit more clearly. Of course, going backwards and forwards, it tends to get cut off at the edges, I think. So from the front view, having gone up and down, what we're doing is turning slightly to the left, coming back towards the front as we draw in, and then stepping to the left. A couple of ways of doing it. Let's just see, let's just come over here a little bit, and let's go back a little bit. So, you step out. The hands come up, they come in ever so slightly, they go down as you bend the legs, you turn the waist. And then you turn the waist back, lift the leg, step, turn. That's one way. The other way of doing it is from here, turning to the left, drawing in, putting the toe down to keep your balance, then stepping round to the left. As you step round, the toe of the right foot turns round so you're not twisting your knee. Okay, I will now go through that little routine a couple of times, and I will add some audio instruction in. First thing, I'll come back to teach this. First thing, I'm going to say start feet together. Doesn't mean the feet actually have to be touching. I think I've talked about this before. I'm ever so slightly knock-kneed as opposed to bow-legged. So that if I put my feet completely together, my knees rub, and that's a little bit uncomfortable. Because you want to relax at the beginning, it is better if I maintain, about 1.5 centimetres distance between my feet, because that lets my legs be together but not pushing together. Relaxing at the beginning of a form is critical. Okay, let's go back and let's add some more little bits of information. So I get that foot position I like. I try and get my balance right at the beginning. So I don't want to be leaning to the left, I don't want to be leaning to the right, I don't want to be leaning forwards, I don't want to be leaning back. I want my body upright, I want the weight over the centre of my feet, and I want the legs just ever so slightly relaxed. Not bent, that comes later, but I don't want them locked out. I'm not a soldier on parade. Shoulders relaxed in a neutral position, hands hanging down by the side. Breathing in and out through the nose, if you can. Relax. Begin, bend the right leg a little, lift the left heel. Step the left foot out, putting the toe down first. Or the ball of the foot down first. Tuck the pelvis under, let the arms come up. You only tuck the pelvis under a little bit, by the way. Arms come in a little bit, and then you sit down and back as your hands come to waist height. Turn slightly to the left. Draw the left foot in as you turn back to the front. Step and turn to your left, which is now to the front of the screen. Drawing back, the left toes come up. Turn slightly to the left, about 15 to 30 degrees. Step through part one horse's mane. So now the rear foot, the left foot, is in an angled natural position without the knee being twisted. Draw back, pivot slightly to the right, step through. Half diagonal step with the rear leg, put the weight into the right leg. White crane spreads wings. Talk about that a bit more in a minute. Stepping the left foot out and forward, so out to the left and forwards, brush knee and push step. You only need to take it out a little bit, but it's because white crane you will have drawn it in. Both hands up to the left as you turn the foot to the left, stepping forwards. Draw back, pivot to the right, step forwards. Half diagonal step, strum the loot. Now here, turn the waist to the left, turn the foot to the left. Step round so your feet are hip width apart. I'm just going to step back so it's easier to see me on camera. Up, down, turn, draw in, step. Draw back, pivoting to the left, step through. Draw back, pivoting to the right, step through. Diagonal half step, hold ball, throw it up in the air, right hand goes up, left hand pats the dog and you reposition your left foot onto the ball of the foot. Circling the hand, stepping the left foot forwards and slightly out to the left, pushing with the right hand. Drawing back, pivot to the left, both hands go up, step the right foot through, push with the left hand. Draw back, right toe lifts off the floor, turn slightly to the right, hands come up, step through, push with the right hand. Diagonal half step with the rear leg, strum the loot. Turn to the left, step in. I'm doing that little bit, which you can either add in, so you can either do that, or just as you turn, you can just come to a play the piano position with the legs bent. Either is okay. Turn, off we go again. Here, as I draw back and pivot to the right, I start to turn my right hand over so that when I step through, I'm holding the ball with the palms facing each other. White crane. Draw back, toe lifts off, turn. Step through, push with the left hand. Draw back, pivot. Push. Diagonal half step. Strum the loop, all the weight on the right leg. Pivot, turn to the left. Here I'm holding the ball. I'm not holding the ball. I'm playing the piano already, so I just carry on. I don't need to do the opening move. I put my toe down there because my balance wasn't quite right. Never be afraid to listen to your body and adjust what you're doing. Step, strum the loop. Now once I turn around, I'm going to do a couple of iterations quietly, and I'm going to try and make it a little bit more fluid. as I say, that's not part of the 24, but it just works in this instance. Let me think. Obviously, in the last session we did that, but then we added in, after strung the loop, the 4 repulse monkeys, grass swallows, tail, the turn, and grass swallow's tail to the other side. And I don't think that was as problematic as flowing through the first 5 moves. If you feel you need a video on repulse monkey and grass swallow's tail, let me know and I will be delighted to provide you with one. Okay, enjoy. Okay, let's start. Chain, bring the feet in slightly, use the legs to power the arms, relax the shoulders. Change, as one leg bends, the other leg straightens, and vice versa, turn the waist, let the arms float diagonally. Back, raise the hands, bring the knees up to touch that. Bring the hands a bit higher, bring the knees a bit higher, that's fine. Relax, hands down by the side, knee up and out to the side. Stay with one leg. Staying with the same leg out to the side, around to the front. Other leg out to the front, around, up to the front, around to the side. Up to the side, around to the front. Making sure you've got space front, side and back. Start just raising one foot, then the other, as high as you comfortably can to the front. Keeping the leg fairly straight. Now, as I say, check you've got space to the side. Raise one leg to one side, then the other leg to the other. If you haven't got enough space, just do one leg to begin with and then switch around. But, just a comfortable height. And now one leg behind, then the other leg behind. Trying to keep the body reasonably upright, just swinging the legs back. And relax, bring the feet together, gently circle the hips. Change direction. Bring the feet out to a little bit below hip width, circle the hips. Nice, fairly big circles, nice and comfortable. Change direction. Take the feet out to a little bit more than shoulder width. Yeah, a little bit more than shoulder width. Circle the hips. Change direction. If it's comfortable, if you can, take the feet out about another 6 inches. Make sure the knees are nice and relaxed and slightly bent, and circle the hips. And change direction. And relax. Gently take both hands down one leg and then up and down the other. Nice and gently. No rush. If you're flexible enough, you can take the hands to the toes or beyond the toes if you're flexible enough, but just do what's comfortable. Straighten up, tilt the body side to side. Probably want to bring the feet in a little bit, lean backwards a little bit, and then twist the body side to side. Nice and gently. Don't overdo this one if you're not used to it. And relax. Circle the shoulders. Nice, big, slow shoulder circles. Change direction. Change direction and try and get the whole body involved. I'll just move sideways so you may be able to see kind of what I'm doing a bit clearer. Change direction. Relax. Big, slow circles with both arms. Change direction. Hands out in front and then open and close. And then diagonal, horizontal, other diagonal. Relax. Head in a nice gentle U shape. Look to the front, turn the head left and right. Look to the front, nod the head up and down. Or if you want to add some excitement to your life, nod your head down and up. Then look to the front, raise one ear up towards the ceiling. Then relax the other ear up towards the ceiling. And relax. And the other ear, etc., etc. Then relax, a few more U shapes. And relax. Okay, we're going to do the 8-move 1-step form again, but this time I'm going to do it very, very slowly. Not absolutely as slowly as it can be done, because you can go crazy, crazy slow, but it will be significantly slower than the last. Let me just get centered in the cameras. That should be about it. Breathe in and relax as you breathe out. Breathe in and in. Now, the interesting thing about doing it at that sort of speed is some people find that very easy. Other people find that extremely difficult. Not necessarily from a physical point of view. It may be difficult from a mental point of view to keep your focus and concentration on what you're doing. If it is difficult, either physically or mentally, then it's worth practicing it, obviously, to overcome those limitations. I like to practice at a variety of speeds, and some days I will feel that sort of a speed like this is appropriate, which is kind of a bit faster than I would normally teach. Other times, what I might term my teaching speed, which is probably more this sort of speed. And sometimes, as we've just done, the slower speed. There are other variations that you can do with all the forms, but the easiest one, which I won't do tonight, but the easiest one to do is just to do it with your eyes closed. So you close your eyes, you do the form at whatever speed you want to do, but just having your eyes closed will give you a different perception of what you're doing. And again, for some people that becomes more difficult because the balance becomes more of an issue with the eyes closed. For other people, it becomes easier because it's more like you're in your own body and you're not paying attention and you're not aware to your surroundings. So it just depends. First exercise. Let's do it. From the side. Second variation, going to the diagonals. Next variation, going to the sides. This needs some specific footwork, which is step to the side, adjust the foot, and then when you come back, adjust the foot, step to the front, step to the other side, adjust the foot, going the other way, adjust the foot, etc. So it looks like this. That's sort of, if you like, level one of this, or the first exercise with the different stepping variations. Many of the floating hands exercises can be done stepping forward, stepping off to the corner, or stepping side to side. And some of them indeed, there are more significant turns and more significant stepping, but leave that for another day. I want to spend some time on floating hands because I've been neglecting those recently. The reason I want to spend time on floating hands is because one of the things that floating hands lets you do is work the whole body rhythmically and smoothly. And we'll do a couple of floating hands exercises that do that. So let's start with the good old one, as it were, where one hand comes up as the other goes on the inside, and then you push, and then the other hand comes up and you go on the inside and you push. If I do it sideways, it's here and push, and then this hand comes up and push, then this hand comes up and push, and then this hand comes up and push. So if I come into camera a little bit, push on the outside, push on the outside, push. So the lower hand creeps up on the outside of the hand that did push, and the hand that did push, this one, becomes rhythmic. And when it does, you start to realize that in order to make it rhythmic, you needed to move the hips and waist. If you turn the hips and waist, it makes it much easier. As you come here to come on the outside, you turn the hip to let that hand come up. Then you push. This hand wants to come up. I'm going to turn that hip. So you're pushing the lower hand with the hip on the same side. There's more to it than that, because in actual fact, what you do is you take, if I'm moving, let's wait till I get back to my right hand. Okay, so I'm going to move my right hand, right hip forward, right hip back, right hip forward, left hip forward, left hip back, left hip forward, right hip back, etc., etc. And relax. This is the next thing I want to do. It's not strictly a floating hands exercise. It's cloud hands. But the way I want to do it, instead of just doing it the way we normally would do cloud hands in most of the forms, which is starting off with your feet about hip width apart, I want you to take your feet out about twice hip width if you can, as far apart as you can comfortably move your feet so that you can also move the body side to side. Now, to protect the knees, you probably want to turn the toes out ever so slightly. If you keep your feet rather facing forwards, then moving side to side for some people can be difficult. I know for me that makes it tricky. So what I do is I turn my toes out just a little bit. Now we're going to do cloud hands, but we're going to make it a big movement. So you're going from one side to the other. Allow your body to lean into the movement. Obviously, because what I do mainly is Yang style Tai Chi, generally in Yang style Tai Chi, we're keeping our body upright. But for this exercise, lean into that front leg. So each side, if we call the left leg my front leg, and now as I go to the right, my right leg's the front leg. So I want to lean into that a little. As if I was pushing something away or if I was reaching for something. Nice big movements, letting the weight go 80%, let's say, into one leg, 70 or 80%, and then into the other leg. And then if you feel comfortable, you can take the feet out a little bit more. So it does become a stretch as well, the lower of the inside of the thighs there. Just a gentle stretch. Now, if you want to be clever, and I always have trouble with this, you can reverse the movement. No, I haven't reversed the movement, have I? Here we go. That reverses the movement. Oh, I would say reverse the movement. I mean reverse the arms, obviously. And relax. Give your legs a little shake if you need to. Next exercise. Nice and simple. All we're going to do is hold a ball, and whichever hand is underneath, so my left hand is underneath, that's the foot we're going to step forward with. So I'm going to step forward with the left foot. The left hand is going to go up. The right hand is going to go back. The right hand goes behind my body. The left hand comes up. Come back. I hold the ball. And now the left hand's on top. The right hand's underneath. So I step the right foot forward. The right arm goes forward. The left arm goes back. Step back. Step forward. Back. Forward. Each time I'm changing the leg that I step forward with, and I'm changing the hand that's on top. So that way, if I'm stepping forward with my left leg, my left hand will be underneath. Now my right hand's underneath. Step forward with my right foot. I nearly said step forward with my right hand, but you know what I mean. And again, with this exercise, if I do it sideways, a little lean forward is acceptable here. You can stay upright, so now I'm staying upright. You can do it that way, but also leaning into it just a little is definitely acceptable. As I've said before, the hands can be palm up or palm down, or one up and one down, or one down and one up. It really doesn't matter. You should really practice all the variations. They're all good for you. Now, once you get comfortable with the movement, pay attention to the fact there should be some spring in your knees. You don't want to be straight. You don't want to be stepping out from sort of a straight legged position. When you're here, you want the legs relaxed, just a little. And obviously they're both bent here as well. Don't let that rear leg straighten either. So both legs bent a little bit all the time. Good. What we're going to do now is we'll start with one arm actually, it'll be easier. Start with your right arm. Take the elbow across the body, turning the body. Lift the elbow up. Bring it back and down. So you go across, up, down. Stay with one arm. power it from the waist. The waist turns the other way. And gradually, it becomes smoother, hopefully. So it becomes like you're taking your elbow in a circle. The elbow is above the hand. You don't want the hand above the elbow. You want to bend the arm so the hand is pretty much facing downwards the whole time. Once you're comfortable with that, switch to the other arm. Turning the waist, turning the hips. You may find, I know I find, that one shoulder is tighter than the other, and indeed I think one elbow doesn't seem to bend as much as the other when I'm doing this exercise. And now, of course, we go right and left and right and left. So as one arm is coming back, the other arm is going forwards. One elbow, the other elbow. Turning the waist. Turning the hips a little. Turning the waist as much as you like. As much as you can. Speed at which you do it is entirely up to you. Just find a speed where everything seems to flow naturally from one side to the other. And relax. Excuse me, something in my eye. Nice, simple exercise, do it gently. All we're going to do is step forward and gently bend and either touch our toes or reach towards our toes. Gently come up, step to the other side, gently touch the toes. Nice and simple. Legs again slightly bent. Not much, but just a gentle bend in the legs. You think, oh, that's nice and easy. Yes, it is, but we're going to add something to it. You'll be pleased to know it's not a double front somersault and a full split. I don't think I could do that. What we're going to add to it is a circle with the arm. As we come here, we're going to lift the arm and come down. As we come forward with the hand, as we come forward with the foot, the hand goes up and then you bend forward. Gently, whatever speed you need to do it at. Especially be careful as you pull up. You don't want to do anything to the small of the back. You don't want to damage your back. So you need to do it at a speed that is comfortable for you. And obviously, if you have any back issues, either don't do it or only do like a little bend and come back. A little bend and come back. Now, if you're comfortable with that, if that's easy peasy lemon squeezing, you'd like to go to the next flavour, which I don't know what the next flavour after lemon is. Tangerine, let's say. The tangerine flavour of this exercise is when you step, the opposite hand comes up and over. So you step left and the right hand touches the foot. You step right, left hand. Big circle with the arm coming up and then down. Circle the arm up and then down. Up and more. And relax. And since we've been bending the spine forwards a little, quite a lot, let's just take some time, very gently, lean back. You might want to put your hands on your hips, feet comfortably wide, and then just gently twist. Gently, gently, not leaning too far back, just whatever amount is appropriate. Gently taking the weight side to side. Come up, keeping the feet fixed, keeping the lower body fixed. You might want to make them a bit wider. Gently circle the upper body. Fairly small circles. We're not going to increase the size of the circles. Change direction whenever you need to. Just small circles. Just allowing the small of the back to gently relax. And stop. Okay. That's a little section, a few of the floating hands exercises, plus, as I say, the one I snuck in, which was the modified cloud hands, which fits in. Start with your feet fairly narrow, and then all I want you to do is just raise one foot, put it down, raise the other foot, put it down, and then hold the foot up in the air for whatever length of time seems okay for you. If your balance is good, hold it for 10 seconds. If your balance isn't so good, don't hold it for so long. And relax. Feet about hip width apart. Up on the toes, roll back a little. Up on the toes, roll back. Nice and gently. That's both feet facing forward. Step one foot forward. Stretch the rear leg just gently. Both feet need to face forward though. Gentle stretch in the calf. Change legs. Change legs again. Maybe just put a little bit more weight into the front leg. Push the rear heel down into the floor. A little bit more of a stretch in the rear leg. But gently, gently. Change legs. And relax. Interlock your fingers, and then what you're going to do is we're going to pull and push and pull and push and pull and push but keeping the fingers interlocked. So I take one hand up, the other down, and then I take the other hand up and down. So if they weren't interlocked, the hands would go that way and that way. But because they're interlocked, all I'm doing is tensing up the muscles, making the muscles work. Up, down. So I'm raising my right hand, lowering my left. Now I'm raising my left, lowering my right. About 5 seconds. As hard as you can, really make the muscles work. Then the other hand, or the other way. And then change, so it's up and down with the other hands, and then change. And then pull them apart and push them together. So interlock the fingers, pull apart as much as you can. No, keep your fingers interlocked though. That's it, you're just pulling on the muscles. And then push the hands together. And then pull apart, push together. Pull apart, push together. Now we're going to keep the fingers interlocked, but we're going to go forwards and backwards. So one hand's going forwards, the other's going backwards. Change. 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 Relax, tuck the elbows in, circle the hands. Fairly slow, going through a full range of motion. Change direction. Try and keep the forearms as still as possible, just the hands moving. Now both hands in the same direction. And reverse that direction. Flap the hands side to side, trying to relax the wrists as much as possible. Flick the hands up and down. And then make that into a big movement, swinging the arms behind the body. Relax, circle the shoulders. Other direction. Put the arms out, small circles with the hands. Change direction. Leave the arms out, but circle the shoulders.